Never Never by Colleen Hoover. Imagine waking up one morning, and not recognizing the person lying next to you. Every laugh, every fight, every first kiss, gone. Charlie Wynwood and Silas Nash have loved each other since they were 14. And now, they are complete strangers. Together, they must piece together the memories of the love they once had, but the more they uncover, the more they wonder, did it ever belong to them at all? Forgetting is terrifying, but remembering may be far worse. Welcome to Never Never. Part 1, Intro. Never stop. Never forget. Just remember. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything that makes you, you, has vanished. Your memories, your past, your love, all erased in an instant. This is the haunting world of Never Never by Colleen Hoover, a novel that's equal parts romantic suspense, psychological mystery, and heart-stopping drama. An instant #1 New York Times bestseller, Never Never grips you from the very first page with a chilling question. If you lost every memory of the person you love, would you fall for them all over again? Today, we're diving into the atmospheric, spoiler-light journey of Charlie Wynwood and Silas Nash, childhood best friends, teenage lovers, and now, strangers trapped in a mystery bigger than themselves. So settle in. Turn down the lights. And let's step into a world where forgetting is terrifying, but remembering may be worse. Part 2, Main Storytelling. The setup, strangers in love. Charlie Wynwood and Silas Nash have known each other forever. Their story, on the surface, should feel like a classic childhood sweethearts romance. They grew up together, their lives intertwining in the way only two soul-tied kids could manage. They've loved each other since they were 14, weathered fights and reconciliations, and written a love story that seems unshakable. Until one morning. When they wake up, everything is gone. The laughter, the inside jokes, the shared history, vanished. They don't even recognize each other. Not as friends. Not as lovers. Not as anyone. And here lies the hook that makes Never Never so utterly addictive. Colleen Hoover and Tarryn Fisher, co-creators of this unforgettable tale, build a premise that is equal parts romantic and unsettling. What happens when two people are forced to rebuild their connection from the ground up, not because of choice? The mystery begins. From the first chapters, the tension is palpable. Charlie and Silas quickly realize that this isn't normal forgetfulness. It's not about one of them losing memory after an accident, it's both of them, simultaneously, stripped bare of everything they once were. Imagine the terror of looking at your family, your friends, your school, and not knowing where you belong. Imagine standing next to the person who supposedly knows you best, and feeling nothing but an eerie, terrifying blank. This is where the novel thrives, in the in-between spaces of memory and identity. Charlie and Silas must work together, piecing together scraps of who they used to be. Old notes. Photographs. Glimpses of friends who seem to know more than they're saying. And above all, the flickers of instinct that whisper, maybe I do know you, maybe I've loved you all along. The suspense grows heavier as the pages turn. Because the more they uncover about themselves, the more they begin to question. Were we even good together? Was our love worth remembering at all? Love and suspense entwined. At its heart, Never Never is not just about mystery. It's about love, not the glossy, easy kind, but the raw and complicated kind that's stitched with flaws, fights, and forgiveness. Charlie and Silas's rediscovery of each other is laced with tenderness and frustration. Without the baggage of memory, they see each other with new eyes. But that freshness is shadowed by the weight of the truth. Maybe their relationship wasn't as perfect as they once believed. This balance between romantic rediscovery and psychological suspense is where Hoover and Fisher shine. Every interaction feels charged. Every glance hints at something deeper. And as a reader, or listener, in this case, you're torn between rooting for them to fall in love again and bracing yourself for the dark revelations lurking just beyond the next chapter. Themes that resonate. What makes Never Never more than just a love story is the way it wrestles with universal questions. Identity: who are we without our memories? Are we the sum of our past choices, or something deeper? Love is true love bound to memory, or does it exist independently, etched into the soul? Fate versus free will. If destiny erases your story, will your heart still find its way back? For readers, these questions resonate long after the book ends. We start to wonder about our own relationships, about the invisible threads that tie us to the people we love, and whether those threads would remain unbroken if memory itself were stripped away. Writing style and atmosphere. Colleen Hoover's signature emotional pull is here in full force, blended seamlessly with Tarryn Fisher's darker, more suspenseful edge. The prose is crisp, immersive, and cinematic. You don't just read Charlie and Silas's confusion, you feel it. Scenes are painted with urgency and intimacy. Classrooms feel like cages. Homes feel like haunted places. And every clue discovered is like a breadcrumb on a twisting, shadow-covered path. The pacing keeps you breathless, short, urgent chapters that beg to be devoured in one sitting. Why it works. The genius of Never Never lies in its tension, the push and pull between fear and love, between the desire to know and the terror of what might be uncovered. As readers, we're caught in that same liminal space. We ache for answers, but we also dread what those answers will mean for Charlie and Silas. Will love survive the truth? Or was forgetting a mercy? This duality makes the novel impossible to put down. Part 3, Closing. And that is the magic of Never Never. It isn't just a romantic suspense novel. It's a meditation on memory, love, and the fragile threads that tie our lives together. It's a story that makes you question whether forgetting could ever be a blessing, and whether remembering might be the real curse. Charlie Wynwood and Silas Nash will stay with you long after you close the book, not because they have all the answers, but because their journey forces you to ask your own questions about fate, love, and identity. So if you're ready for a novel that's equal parts haunting, heart-stopping, and deeply romantic, one that will leave you breathless and believing in the power of love, then it's time to pick up Never Never by Colleen Hoover. But remember, in this story, forgetting is terrifying. And remembering? It may be far worse. If you enjoyed this storytelling breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Would you still fall in love with your soulmate if every memory of them was erased? Until next time, keep reading, keep imagining, and never stop believing in the power of stories. If you lost every memory of the person you love, do you think your heart would still find its way back to them? Drop your answer below. I can't wait to read your thoughts.